When it comes to Sargel18, I get my information from Devron and the beings at the vortex. And that's why I make these statements. And I can back it up with the evidence of me talking to these beings. As you can see in the contact video, that one frame from the contact video. I'd say I have contact with aliens, and I shot a picture of the multiverse, the doorway I walked through on February 10th, 1998 at 10:33 p.m. And there's the picture to prove it, right? You can all go see that. I talked to Devron. Devron is where ideas come from. It's such a massive energy that it has its own consciousness, and it's made contact with me. Everyone uses Devron. Devron helped the person design what your monitor looks like. When he thought, what would a monitor look like? He would have to tap into Devron, whether he knows it or not, and he would come up with an idea, and then he would make it into actuality. But that's that. You can put up the picture of Devron, please. I'm going to start in what happened. The next day after last week's show, some people had knocked me about predictions and all that, you know, and Tommy gets letters, Telequad gets letters. I don't get letters, which is all right, because I'm so busy doing other things. And I was having a problem with the whole reality. And I sat down here before I left to go do what I have to do for my business. I sat down for a second, and I was at odds with myself, and I was at odds with Devron. And I'm bitching and moaning. Like, you people think, you know, you hear everybody, they talk to their guides all nice and all that. I'm sitting here, and I sat down, and you can see the picture up now. I sat down, and I'm bitching. I don't talk to these guys nicely. I yell, I bitch. I'm like, what the hell, man? You know, why don't you just give me the lottery numbers, Devron? Why don't you just give me the lottery numbers, Devron? And I'll, I think we have a here, Telequad. And I don't have to go through all this bullshit, and I can just get the money to go set up what I have to set up, start teaching people, go back to the vortex and start bringing more knowledge out to the world, because that's what it's really about. I go, why are you putting me through all this shit? And I was pissed. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden I hear Devron come over he always goes over my right shoulder. I hear him come over my right shoulder. He goes, put your camera on your computer, and we'll give you validity of our existence. And I'm like, what? You going to Skype me? I go, is that what you're going to do? Because at that point, I didn't give a shit what he was saying. He goes, put your camera on. So I clicked the camera on, and you see in the picture, I look up, and there's this blue energy behind me, right here. And I'm like, what? And I go, and that's what I see when I make connection with Devron. I don't see a being. It's this beautiful blue energy. And I told Tommy this, and everyone else that's close to me this. This is what it is. This is what it looks like. And I look up, and instantly the vortex debunker came out of me. As you can see my light there in the picture, you can see the light here too. I started lifting the light, trying to make, do you see any light into the camera? I looked, there was no other light. As you can see, the candles weren't lit, and it's the morning. And I tried to duplicate it. Whatever I did, I couldn't duplicate. So I looked up again, it's still there. I took 2 pictures of it, 2 clicks, and then I looked down at my keyboard to name it Devron 1 and Devron 2, and looked up, gone. And then I tried again. I lifted the light, I lifted the shade here. I did, not gone. So now Devron goes to me, now you have validity that we do exist and that we are helping you. And I was blown away. Devron first made his contact in February of 1995. He's been with me ever since, guiding me, guide you, you know, and I've never had any evidence but his predictions that come true that he gives me and how he helps people. And now for the first time in my career, I have this blue energy behind me. He says it's him. There it is.